On the Bright Side is brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
Breastfeeding, also referred to as nature's golden food, symbolizes the precious bond between mother and child. It provides unparalleled nourishment and immune protection, making it a vital cornerstone for the healthy development of infants. This is the gospel shared by community health worker Penelope Casasola.
Breastfeeding is a natural food that comes from the woman's breast, and it's under the control of the pituitary gland, which is the master endocrine gland right under the brain. It sends hormones to the glands. It prepares during pregnancy so that at birth there's colostrum, the first milk. It's a sticky, golden, and that's the reason for the gold approach. It's a golden food.
She's a retired nurse practitioner and educator who devoted her life to medical care both in Belize and the United States. After retirement, she returned home to Belize and sought to continue her efforts through volunteerism in community health education. Her passion is promoting breastfeeding for working mothers.
That's how I got into the community aspect of caring. So I was volunteering, teaching mothers and families at Carl Hushner. And then when I got to Matron Roberts, I was meeting those same patients I had taught. They had stopped breastfeeding, and I was so curious. It was because they were going back to work. And so most of my efforts is to meet the needs of women, families in the community, the working families, to teach them that they could breastfeed and work.
This year's Breastfeeding Awareness theme challenges workplaces to provide spaces for nursing mothers to express their milk sanitarily, privately, and free from discrimination. According to the Women's Health Action, only 42 countries mandate places of employment to provide breastfeeding facilities. In some countries, firm policies are in place to ensure that mothers also have flexible work arrangements and lactation rooms for a defined number of female employees.
The standard of care requires all institutions, all employers, the International Labour Organization, that women in the workplace who are breastfeeding are given breast expression breaks. And in some places, like places that are unionized, they get an extra hour for lunch so they can reconnect with their baby. And many places do, a few do.
And so we went in search of places here in Belize that recognize this importance. Calls were made to several well-established businesses in Belize City. And one by one, we were informed that these spaces were not available. We eventually stumbled upon a utility company that not only affords mothers flexible hours to attend to their nursing duty, but also had a lactation room.
The culture of BWS is one of a family-oriented culture, and we believe in family. And so we are happy to afford nursing mothers the opportunity for them to come in the nursing room to extract milk. We have a refrigerator that they will put the milk, and then they take it home in the evening in their little ice box for their lovely children.
Gina Sosa is a staff member here at BWS. She breastfed her 3 children and shared how having a space at her job was helpful in facilitating this process.
Thankfully, I did have a space provided, and it was something that I've always shared with my staff. You know, it's important for a mother and for the child. So for me, it was an experience where I needed to have that privacy. I needed to have the consistency in being able to close the door and have that privacy to do it. And when you're first starting, it takes up a lot of time away from your work, you know, and having that commitment of doing it, because that's the hardest thing, committing to doing it. And I think providing a space where you have that designated spot makes it easier.
This is a haka pump that you press. You fold this over, attach it to the breast, and it forms a seal, and the milk will just flow. Instead of putting it in bottles, you can put it in bags, storage bags, and keep it in a cooler. This is an insulated bag, and you can use a ice pack, or you can make your own. This is a box with ice, and keep it, and it's fresh in there for 24 hours. The sad part is that women are even now being expected to express their milk in a bathroom, which is a no-no. That's a crime. To me, it's a crime. It's an unhealthy way of doing it, and I appeal to all employers out there to recognize that nobody prepares a meal in a bathroom.
Natalie Perez and Mario Avalar are first-time parents experiencing the joy of raising their daughter, Amari. Natalie has every intention to continue breastfeeding her baby when she returns to work. But she sought help from Nurse Penny to guide her through the initial stages of breastfeeding.
So I think it was like the second night at the hospital, I'm like, I need help. After I came home, I called Miss Penelope Casasola, and sorry if I get teary, but she's been such a help since, and it's been a difficult journey. We're at the 11th day. She still has, she latched on yesterday, but because I took so long, the flow of milk is taking a while, but I really want her to be breastfed. And I know it's healthier for her and for me as well.
This year's breastfeeding theme also speaks of the importance that fathers play in breastfeeding. The theme recognizes parents rather than mothers alone, and even speaks of an extension of paternity leave. 11 days into parenthood, Mario explains ways that he assists his partner.
Last night she was sleeping a few hours, so I took the time and I held her. I had her, put her to sleep right here. Two of us fell asleep a little while I was holding her hand, she was holding my hand. And then I got up by instinct. She wasn't moving, but I guess I felt like it was time then. Then I held her again, went to her mother and told her everything's okay, and she got up. I give her that little break. Things like that.
It helps a lot.
Yes.
It helps a lot.
So as we celebrate the importance of breastfeeding, it's important to remember that parenthood's boundless love shines in nursing. It's an intimate display of affection, forging profound connections between mother and child that transcend words and barriers. It's a celebration of life, a gift of health, and a timeless testament of the power of love. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
From now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus. The new formula with the ultimate technology and additives provides an A+ power and A+ performance. Dynamax Plus, available in diesel, regular and premium. Try it today and reach further. Uno, a different energy.